Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. It's Griddles here, and today it's What's on the Griddle with Griddle and Dallas and Striker, aka Dagger. So today I was waiting to do this podcast until I had a video that I thought would be actually important to make as a podcast, and what's really been striking my chords lately has been Modern Warfare. Mainly because of the controversy with the new mode that they're going to hold back. So I got some stuff written down here we're going to talk about today. You guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell them who you are, and tell them what you do and all that fun stuff. Dallas, you first.
Well, I'm pretty sure we all know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Dallas, and I've been Kyle's friend for a good, how many years?
Like
Like,
6 or 7, something like that. Or 8,
yeah, I'm
maybe
sure
even
they
10.
care. But yeah.
Maybe even 10.
Yeah, I just run a YouTube channel that plays Minecraft, but I'm a huge gamer outside of Minecraft within the shooters, so I have a lot to say about Call of Duty as well.
Yep. All right, now Dagger.
I'm just here for the ride.
Yep, nope. All right, no one cares. Shut your mouth. Okay, anyways, Dagger's our punching bag. We kind of just mess with him all the time. This podcast is basically just going to be pros and cons of the new Call of Duty stuff that I wrote down whenever I was playing the beta. Dallas and Dagger both played the beta with me as well, so I feel like it's going to be easy for us to talk about it because we just did it. So, the first pro, and my biggest, most favorite pro, I know Dallas has a lot to say about this, gun customization. Dallas, take it away. Tell us everything you know about gun customization in the new Modern Warfare.
Well, that's what I think lacked in the last Call of Duties, because all I get interested in when I'm playing the game is making my guy feel how I would feel if I was out there in that current situation. And I think if I could think of a Call of Duty that had decent customization, it was probably Black Ops 1 and 2, weirdly enough, even though they didn't have much. But considering they're adding over 60 attachments for a single rifle in this game, you can make your gun look, you can even inspire other people, and they'll be like, what the heck is that attachment? That's what I really like. I just like being different, and I look forward to all the new attachments.
That and the fact that all of those attachments are going to actually affect the gun differently, so you can build the gun completely around your playstyle, right? Striker, you messed with the gun customization a little bit. Being someone who doesn't know how actual firearms work and how each caliber reacts to the hammer hitting it and how the projectile goes accurately, what did you think of the gun customization from the outside?
I actually like.
All right, cool, good, because no one cared. All right, so, right.
So I like that aspect.
Obviously, Striker is the youngest member of Zacred, so hearing from our point of view as, 20-something-year-old adults, I'm almost 30, versus a 16-year-old kid's opinion, it's nice to hear both sides of the spectrum. And moving on to the next, which is the new game mode that we've actually heard a lot about in past Call of Duties, but never to this scale, Ground War. Now, in the beta, Ground War was my favorite game mode because it felt like Battlefield and Call of Duty had a baby and not a retarded ginge baby, like an actual good baby. And I had a lot of fun with it. There was some times that Dally didn't like it as much as me, and I kind of want to play on that. Like, what are some things you liked and didn't like about Ground War, Dallas?
See, this is a weird part. Like, I did enjoy it, but I think it was just the feeling of Battlefield that made me want to go play Battlefield, because Call of Duty Ground War feels like Battlefield's little brother, because Battlefield has the plus side of having destruction of literally everything, including the ground, and Call of Duty obviously comes from a place where it's all just arcadey, and them kind of moving to that side of like the gaming industry, they've got a lot of challenges. So,
right, and obviously, if they would have added destructibility and, ground morphing and whatnot as you do things like shoot grenade launchers, rocket launchers, or tank shells, you'd have a different aspect on it, right? Like, that's something they should add in the future if they do Ground War in the next Call of Duty.
It's not
Like,
something they need to add. It's just something I noticed, but I think there's just something missing that needs. I couldn't even tell you what it is, but.
All right, so these two things kind of go together. Well, actually, these three things. Graphics, fluidity, and tactical. Now, graphically, the game's beautiful on Xbox One X. This is my first game playing on an Xbox One X of that caliber, and it was amazing looking. The fluidity of movement, I thought, was 100 times better than any Call of Duty I've ever played. And the more tactical aspect is more about ground war, now that you feel like you can actually flank people and pull like really good maneuverability, where in Domination or TDM you can't really do that because it's such a small scale map. I mean, you got anything on that?
Well, you are right about the fluidity and all that. That's one thing of it coming from Call of Duty is that's, I think, actually the plus side to it over Battlefield is, but Battlefield is known for its fluidity as well, but Call of Duty is just
A
on
little more
the
fluid,
spot
yeah.
with how, yeah.
Right. And as for the tacticalness to it, you got to admit, Ground War was so much better than regular multiplayer for actual team tactics. If we had a full 32-man team, we could really dominate that. And I thought that was pretty cool. So, of course, we're going to recruit for that. So, you know, if you're interested in Zacred, make sure you hit up the gamer tags in the description, and we'll be happy to get a hold of you. But also, one pro that I really think it's going to do is because of the high detail in the multiplayer, it's going to rival Battlefield. The fact that Battlefield is not releasing a game this year is good, because if it did, I feel like it would divide the gaming community, because some of the Battlefield people... Right, they're going to go back to Modern after this for sure. And I think that if they don't go back to Modern, they better do Vietnam, because that's going to be the only one that people will accept. Because if they go to World War II or something again, or something like futuristic or something stupid, because I've never played a Battlefield that's futuristic, I think that would be so stupid. Like, they better not do that. I want to get to the cons, because I feel like that's important too, because there's a lot of negativity about this game right now that is really...
Yeah, I got one.
No one cares.
which wasn't in Ground War, but it was in every other game mode, shot from behind. 9 times out of 10, I'm getting hit from behind, and I hate it. The only game I've played that I've never had the frustration of repeatedly getting shot from behind is Battlefield. I don't know why. It must be because the maps are so big, and when you spawn on objectives, you're only spawning
they took
on ones,
out,
like...
you can no longer see enemies on the mini-map when they shoot. But in other Call of Duty, couldn't you see them?
Yeah, you could. But even that, I still get shot from behind in this Call of Duty so freaking much. Like, in that beta, it felt like every time I died, it was from behind, or I killed 6 people, and then somebody came up behind me and shot me. Like, that was the part that kind of bugged me. Like, every time I'd shoot, I'd die afterwards. Like, my KDs were amazing, though. I mean, I'd go 30-5, but I'd still end up getting shot from behind those 5 times, and it would just be so frustrating, because I don't know what it is about Call of Duty, but I always get mad. Even if I'm like 30-1, I'd still get pissed that I just got shot from behind. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The biggest thing in that beta that I noticed gun-wise was just pistols are so weak. I didn't get, like, when I'd use a pistol, I could headshot somebody 3 times and not get a kill. So the only thing that bothered me is because coming from Rainbow Six Siege once again, I got accustomed to pistols actually doing some damage. I think you used a pistol for a little bit in the beta, didn't you, Dally?
Only the Deagle, and I actually liked it because it was a 2-shot kill every time.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a 50 caliber pistol. I was using like a 9mm. There's a few things that are scaring me about customization, though. The gun customization, great. Super excited. Character customization, I'm a little nervous about. Because in the beta, of course, we had preset characters. I hope that they add it to the point where you can mix match outfits and faces and all that kind of stuff or whatever. But in the beta, it looked like each character was named, like they were like presets. And I know Dally said something about, changing cosmetics, like your character's watch that you see on his screen or whatnot. Can you go into that a little bit? I don't really know anything about it.
Well, yeah, such as, like, that's one of my favorite things, and it came into, like, Black Ops 4, what really got me excited for is, like, even though it was a preset skin, the wood skin, I love being able to see like the natural arm, and I don't know why, I like tattoos and all that, and that's what I hope they bring into it, is where you can actually customize them in that detail. And the watches, I heard, is actually you can have different watches in the game, and they're going to be like little Tamagotchis. So like if you're on a kill streak, it may have an animation on it, or it'll do something special. So knowing that they're going to do that, there probably will be customization options.
I hope so, because that was like one of my biggest fears. But like the last thing I really wanted to dive into was the holding the game mode back. Like that really makes me mad, because I mean, think about it. Xbox and PC getting a game mode held back for a whole
Let's make
year.
crossplay. Oh wait, no, you won't get this game mode though for a whole
Right.
year. Oh, and there's going to be a new Call of Duty out by that time, so you won't even play it anyway.
Exactly. And they're giving us 3/4 of a game, and they're like, oh, it's only 1%. I'm like, it's a whole game mode. Are you retarded? How is that 1%? They don't care. But the thing that bothers me is I know they have a contract with Sony for that, but if it was like 1 month or a couple weeks, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, it's normal, it's PlayStation, whatever. But a whole year, they better have got a hefty penny from PlayStation for that. Like, honestly. I don't know. But anyways, we ran over time a little bit, so obviously in the next video we'll talk about another game. I think we're going to do a podcast a couple days before Breakpoint releases, because we played the beta for that too. So look forward to that next podcast, and we will let you know when it's coming. So like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Just be cool about it. Go check out DallasMed65's channel. Tell Dagger to suck a dick in the comment section. Have a great rest of your day.
Bruh.
Goodbye.